It did not feel like any other campaign. You knew you were working on something that's going to be groundbreaking, something that's never been done before, something that no other airport had, no other state had.
Well, for my career, I've been around a long time. This is like the big movie. This is the big, apocalypse thing now, right? My name is Fred, and my last name is Procure. My title is, I'll tell you in a moment. My official title is Director of Staff and Member Development, and I had done many things, so that's why I forget my title.
My name is Saba Bellaccio. I'm working at SeaTac Airport since 2010.
እሺ ስሜ አስቴር እሸቴ ይባላል። እዚህ ኤርፖርት ውስጥ 10 ዓመትና ከዛ በላይ ሰርቻለሁ።
My name is Elsa Ogby, and I am the Director of Internal Organizing as well as the Vice President of SCA86. I have been with the local for about 12 years now. Yeah, and I've worked on all sorts of campaigns for the SCA86. Yeah, that's me.
Yo, my name is also Angeles. I worked here in the airport for over 13 years.
For the Fight for 15, I was at that time the Director of Organizing. The Fight for 15 and the airport was one of my main campaigns. I think to explain how it came to be is that we have been at the airport organizing for a long time, and we had the skycaps, and the skycaps covered the whole airport. And there were those guys, men and women, mostly men though, but some women, that wore those nice little uniforms and greeted you when you got off out of your car and then took your luggage and put it through. We fought for several years to get them a good contract. They were militant, they were fighting, and I wanted to show you, that's why I wanted to bring this in, one of our major leaders, who is a great leader, who unfortunately has passed away, Hosea Wilcox. And Hosea was a long-time skycap. He made his career. That's all he did was a skycap in his life. But the skycaps, they made okay money, but basically on tips. And if you look here, you can see the theme that we started with. Let's make all airport jobs good. Right. That was our broad campaign. Two things that led us into the 15. One thing is that the airport or the airlines would not pay the contractors to pay him. They all work for contractors. Right. And so when you're negotiating, most of the contractors would say, you know what, we would like to get our workers more money, we would like to have good benefits, but we can't squeeze the airlines who are the money source, right? So that was number one problem. And the airlines are so damn cheap. Even though at that time they were making profit, they didn't want to give up a cent, right? And then the other hard part was that they started to replace the skycaps. The skycaps were replaced by selling bags. I think it was Alaska Airlines who first started and said, we don't need them. They're making good tips. What we can do is charge the customer as they get out of the car to carry their own bags. So the customer ended up paying the money, like a fee, to take the bags in and check the bags in. And Alaska had a third party out there who made that money and started to push the skycaps away. So we had these two circumstances, and then we decided to organize the whole airport. And the question then began, how do we move the airlines to cough up the money, right? And pay the contractors so the contractors can pay the skycaps and pay the passenger service workers, which are wheelchair, and everyone else who worked, like fuelers or whatever they were doing. How are they going to get the airlines to cough up the money? We got the idea here, and Sergio Salinas, our then president, and some others decided that we have to get a source of money, and that source of money would have to be forced upon the airlines, and through some legislation, and the city of SeaTac would be it. We would do a vote in the city of SeaTac to pass the $15 minimum wage.
So when we first found out about how this was going to get implemented and the work that I was going to take, we were excited, but at the same time, there was a little bit of doubt, and considering what we were up against, such as Alaska Airlines, as well as the restaurant associations and the Port of Seattle. We knew we were up against major forces, and it was just maybe a handful of us, maybe 10 organizers having to work on this. And so excited, knowing what it was going to do for our members, for the workers at the airport, 10,000 plus airport workers, we knew we were up against big forces.
None of us thought that would work. None of us, we didn't fathom that it would work 100%, but it was our only chance, our only choice, because we were running out of ideas, right, to move this piece.
The first time, I remember when the union organizer came to me and talked to me about it, I thought it was a joke. And I keep asking so many times, do you think it will happen? Is that real or joke? But thank God we make it happen. But I really think it's not impossible.
Well, the workers react the same way when we tell them we're fighting now for health care for all workers at the airport, right? The health care campaign. It's always in disbelief. No one can believe that we're going to be able to win or squeeze money out of these rich airlines, right? They just know they're so greedy and so bad. So there's a lot of skepticism. And then you combine that with fear of losing your job. They first reacted coyly and shyly, even though they thought it was a good idea. But in general, it's natural that workers react that way anytime you want to go into a campaign.
Before 2013, the minimum wage was 10, and the workload also very hard, and the money is not enough. So most of the employee, including me, we need to do 2 jobs, at least 1 full-time and 1 part-time, so we can afford the life. So it was not good. The working condition was not good.
Workers, especially the janitorial services and the wheelchair employees, workers, because they are suffering from less wages, and because they cannot say only when you receive your paycheck, just pay the bill and then no more.
በርግጥ በሲታክ ኤርፖርት ላይ በጣም ሰፊ ሰራተኛ ነው ያለው። ብዙ የሥራ መስኮች አሉ። በጣም በዛን ሰዓት የነበረው 9 ብር ነበር። 9 ብር።
Working 6.5 days a week, door knocking, just to gather the signatures. It took us about 8 months. And by the time we gathered it and submitted it, there was also some challenges. And so it was a long fight, almost a year, having to do this, from planning it to getting the signatures, door knocking.
I am one of the organizers that time, so I remember we've been knocking doors, every doors in SeaTac airport area to get vote for proposition 1, and the whole day we are been knocking doors to get the signature. My experience was very interested and very excited and very good. And I'm still thinking it's like yesterday. It was very nice, good experience for me. When they count the vote, proposition 1, we are all wearing and watching the TV and waiting with a big excitement. And then when the last minute they announce we won for it, I remember how I screamed and jumped. And I even thought the first day when the organizer talked to me, let's do this. And I said, is this really possible? And I really said it's possible. So I never forget that day. That was the happiest day of my life.
I think the best part for me is coming from the Ethiopian Eritrean community. Most of the airport workers belong in that community, especially the low-wage workers within passenger service and cabin cleaning, baggage handling. And it was in a way that empowering, because about 1,200 plus new voters were registered, and almost all of them were from East Africa, from Ethiopia, Eritrea, and Somalia. And to get them to be part of this movement, to get them to start voting by itself was very empowering. And honestly, truth be told, we won that campaign because of those voters. First time registered immigrant voters are the ones that made a difference.
We won the vote in SeaTac, and after winning the vote, they took it to court to try and stop it and to disqualify it. And then they took it all the way to the Supreme Court, and we won it there. And so it was a nice, sweet victory, but there's a lot of legal challenges. It took a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of getting out the vote.
ዘጠኝ ብር 15 ብር መግባት እጅግ ትልቅ ነገር ነው። ባክ ፔመንትም ነበረው። ባክ ፔመንቱ ብዙ ሰዎች ጥሩ ባክ ፔመንት አግኝተው ስለነበረ ቤት የገዙም ሰዎች አሉ፣ መኪና የገዙ ሰዎች አሉ፣ የራሳቸውን ላይፍ ስታይል ያስተካከሉ ሰዎች አሉ። ከ9 ብርም 15 ብር መግባት ቀላል አይደለም። ግን በውጭ ያለው የኑሮ ሁኔታ ግን ሊስተካከል ባለመቻሉ ትንሽ እዛ ጋር እንደው ቅሬታ አለ እንጂ በእውነቱ እዚህ አካባቢ ፔቼካችን ላይ ጥሩ ለውጥ አለ። የተሻለ ላይፍ፣ የተሻለ ኑሮ፣ የተሻለ የቤት ዕቃ።
I have members who were at that time working for bags, getting paid, like I said, $8 and working 4 hours a day, getting sent home, getting disrespected. Those very workers are the reason why we were able to grow our membership at the airport. Today, they have, 2 weeks paid vacation, sick days, guaranteed full-time hours, right? And it changed everybody's life. When people got their back pays, they were able to buy homes, they were able to go back home, bring their families here. Just thinking about it gives me goosebumps because you literally saw the transformation in over 3 years in people's life. Going from just simple job that they were just trying to get by to almost stable career-like job. From living in apartments, not knowing where they're going to live next year, depending on how affordable it is, to being homeowners, to living with roommates, not having their families here, and having to go every 4 years, 5 years to see their families, to being able to bring them here. So it was very transformational, and it wasn't just done by organizers. Actual airport workers were there knocking doors with us. And so all those workers, they're heroes. And they went after winning that, they went on to organize and go into an election and win their union after fighting for 8 months. And so those workers who are still at the airport, holding the fort down, are heroes. I'm just here to tell the story, how it got done.
Well, first of all, probably we should say the real heroes of this all is the workers themselves, because at the airport you can get fired for sneezing incorrectly, right? And so anybody who participated in a campaign or anything that was union-wise, they were brave people. And I just showed you the poster of Hosea. He was extremely brave. He ended up getting terminated down the line. He had an 8-year, 10-year struggle, but he got fired for something else, but they got him, right? And that's how it works. And so workers were the ones who break. The passenger service workers and the SkyCaps and everybody, they participated and helped win this. The SkyCaps got pushed out pretty much in the middle of the campaign or during the campaign. It was predominantly the passenger service workers, the wheelchair pushers, who came through, I think, and some others. So they were the heroes. I know that Saba, she's still at the airport. She was a hero. And Elsa, our vice president right now, was definitely a hero, and she won.
For me, it's all of us a hero, including me, because we help each other. One person can't do anything, but we all stand together. We fight together. So I think all of us are a hero. I'm an active member and organizer and shop stewarding, and I'm helping a lot of employees, and I keep teaching about the union. Some of them, they don't even know what union is, so I am with the union still now.
Because I'm not actually active in a union before. But after that, I became active, and in fact, I became a, you know what?
A shop steward?
Yeah, a steward in the union.
በመጀመሪያ ደረጃ 15 ብር መግባት በጣም ከባድ ነበር። ምክንያቱም ብዙ ካምፓኒዎች ያንን ሐሳብ በፍጹም አይደግፉትም፣ በፍጹምም ሊሆን እንደማይችል ነበር የሚያስቡት። ምክንያቱም ሚኒመም ዌጅ የተባለው 9 ብር፣ አንዳንድ ቦታ ላይ 10 ብር ነበር የነበረው ሁኔታና እጅግ ከባድ፣ ብዙ የካምፓኒ ባለቤቶች በፍጹም የማይግባቡት ሐሳብ እንደሆነ ነበረ የሁሉም ሐሳብና ዓላማ። ግን ጠንካራ የሆነ ሐሳብ ስለነበረን ለማሸነፍ ችለናል። የተሻለ ጥሩ ነገሮች ማግኘት ችለናል። እንዳልሽውም 15 ብር ለመግባት የነበረን ትግል ቀላል አልነበረም። ዩኒየኑም ታግሏል። ኤምፕሎይ በጣም ከፍተኛ ትግል አድርገናል። አሁንም ከፍተኛ ትግል ካላደረግን ይሄ ሄልዝ ኬር ልናገኘው እንችላለን። አሁንም ከፍተኛ ትግል ይጠይቃል። ሁልጊዜ መገናኘት
When we were working on this campaign 10 years ago, and so I started, the city of SeaTac, the mayor, the city councils did not look like what it looked like today. Today we have one of the airport workers back then as city council member. His name is Takali. He was a baggage handler for AirServe, who was part of the movement back then. And so to have somebody who was an airport worker back then to be city council member, listen, if that isn't power to the people, I don't know what is. It changed the whole demographic of how the city was being represented on the board. At that time, it was very conservative. And today we have a very worker-friendly, progressive people in the office. So that's one. And two, towards the end, when we were in the court fighting once it passed, and we still got challenged for 2 years, our members did not see that wage, right? It was the city of SeaTac with us and the Port of Seattle, the Restaurant Association, Alaska Airlines on one side. And so, to have the city be on our side and continue to fight for this, it's good. It was good. It changed it. It made them to make a decision. Are we going to be on the worker side, or are we going to be, on this corporate side? I think one thing that just surprising to me is when at this level, when I go to different cities representing SEIU 6 to hear how there are other states still fighting for $15, and we were able to do this in SeaTac with a few thousand, I think it's 22,000 population. We were able to do this, and the power of voting, the power of immigrants in this country, what we are able to accomplish, it's a true testament to that, And so, like I stated, if you want to say power to the people and look at this campaign, you